Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today it's gonna be a Tesla update. I want to talk to you about pretty much the common things that I guess people want to know. I've owned the car now for 5 months and 7,000 miles or so, something like that. So what about the costs and the reliability of this car? And by the way, if you've been with me for a while, since the beginning of the Tesla adventure here, I had some problems with the hood, so that's another thing that I want to talk about. The first service that I had with Tesla, I had some issues with misalignment in the hood right here. You can see that it's still there, but it's better than it was. So I'm happy with how it looks right now, even though I guess it could be a little better than that. But hey, they tried to do something about it, and that's what they could do. The problem was that this part stuck up a lot higher than over here, and it still does that, but not as bad. So what I did, I just wanted to try and make a service appointment just for the sake of it. I was gonna try and fix that myself, but I thought, let's try and see what happens if we just book a service on the app. And it was super easy. I just scheduled a service appointment right here. They have a newly opened Tesla location right here in Delray Beach, so it's about 10-15 minutes from home. So I went down there. I had a class, and during the class they fixed what they could with the hood. So when the class was over, I just got a notification in the app saying that the car was ready for pickup. So that was the most convenient Tesla service, or service in general, I've ever had. I went to class. I had a class at 8:45, dropped the car off here right next to where I have the class, and to fix the hood. As you know, I have this misaligned hood in the front, and it's been kind of annoying, and I just thought, why not check what Tesla would do if I just request a service to get it fixed. So I dropped it off at 8:40, went to class. An hour later, I got a notification that the car was done, and I picked it up, and it was of course free of charge because it came like that, misaligned hood from the factory. So I'm glad I didn't try to do it myself, because that would probably not have been as smooth. But thanks to Francisco here in Delray Beach, super nice guy. If you have misaligned hoods and stuff on your Tesla, just book a service and then we'll fix it for you within an hour if you make an appointment. I also asked them about this piece right here. You can see that it's a little misaligned here, but they said that in order to do that, we're gonna have to take or adjust. I'm not sure what he said, but he said they'll take the entire door off and adjust the hinges right here, or something like that. So I said, if it's gonna take, if that means that you're gonna have to keep it overnight, then just forget about it. It's just a small detail that it really doesn't bother me that much. But I am happy with the result here. It's not 100%, but still better than it was before. So what type of money have I spent on this car? There hasn't really been any service or maintenance costs yet. It's only 7,000 miles on the car, so that's really not anything to be expected yet. But let's go over the upgrades that I've done here and the costs for each one of them. So we have, of course, first of all, we have the wheels and tires. So these are from Sportline. They're staggered setup, 20-inch wheels, and they are $2,800 with shipping, which I think is a fantastic deal. Now, when you look at them, totally transformed the look of the car. This doesn't has that weak skip the leg days Tesla Model 3 as you normally have with the Aero wheels. I think they look fantastic, and I'm really happy with the setup here. So the next thing, probably the best investment I ever done for the Tesla, is this simple matte screen protector here, which I talked about before as well. You can go and get all of these mods if you want down in the description for yourself. This is just a matte protector, and that cost me, let's see, $19 and free shipping. That was from Amazon. And then you have the performance pedals, $32 for those. I didn't want to have the black standard boring looking plastic pieces that you get on the standard range plus. I wanted the performance pedals. Just looks a little better. Then we have a rear spoiler. The rear spoiler here, it's a carbon fiber look, so it's not real carbon fiber, but it kind of does look like carbon fiber, and I went with a glossy finish on this. And then we have a little visitor sitting right there. I'm not sure if you can see him, just chilling on the wing. And this cost me a little bit expensive, I have to admit, $129 for just a plastic piece like this. But at the same time, It's been on here for, I think, 3 or 4 months now or something like that, and I don't have any issues with any sort of like it's letting go. The adhesive is spot on. You can see underneath here as well. There isn't really any gaps or anything. So this is from RPM Tesla. $129 for the spoiler. And the mats were sent to me for free by 3D Mats. And they're pretty sturdy, solid ones. They follow the shape of the interior here. Pretty cool, but no cost for me on those ones. And what else do we have? We have carbon fiber interior trim, which is this piece right here. So this is carbon fiber look, the same as the spoiler. It's not real carbon fiber, and pretty expensive as well when you think about what it really is. But I think it's worth it, just because of the how the interior feels with when you have the wood covered with this piece instead. So this was $55 from Amazon as well. So total, let's see, total, if we have with the wheels and everything, that would be $3,035. Now, and this is exactly how I wanted mine to look like. Just the simple touches to the design, just to make it look more sporty and definitely more planted. If I had to choose 2 upgrades that I had to have on the car, it would have to, from these that I just talked about, it would be the wheels and tires, and I would still get the staggered setup, even though I lose a little bit of range, and the interior screen protector. Those are pretty much the 2 things that I think are the 2 most essential upgrades. And of course you can put this on as well if you want to. I think they have matte surfaces, matte finish for this as well. Looks really cool, specifically if you have it on white. So now that I have the car and it looks exactly like I want it to, what am I gonna do with it? Am I gonna keep it? Am I gonna sell it and maybe try something else? I'm not sure yet. I really love the car. It's definitely the best car I've ever owned. And by the way, you might ask yourself, what about charging costs and stuff like that? The thing is, I've had so many referrals that I have not paid for a supercharging yet. And I'm pretty sure I'm never gonna have to pay for supercharging. So by the way, if you're planning on buying a Tesla, you shouldn't use my referral link. You should use somebody else's and give them a couple of free miles moving forward. Because I have more than enough for myself. Let me see here. Go into the loot box here. I have 31,000 free supercharging miles remaining, and that's not even all the cars delivered yet. So you have ordered here, and you got a couple of cars that has not been delivered yet. So it's gonna go up even more. So you definitely do not have to use my referral link. You could use someone else's link that don't have maybe any free supercharging miles, to give them some free miles, and you get miles yourself when you do that. So I haven't paid for any supercharging, but I know it costs about, I would say, $7 or $8 to fill it up from 20 to 90 or something like that. So it's not super expensive. It's a lot cheaper than gas, that's for sure. So what about fun to drive and enjoyment to own the Tesla Model 3? Well, as you know, I have the Standard Range Plus, and to me this is more than enough when it comes to power and handling. I think it's a great handling car, and it's still just as fun to drive today as it was the first day I tried to drive the car. I mean, the acceleration, yes, you get used to that after a while, and it doesn't feel as quick as when you first got it, because you got it, at least I was a little bit surprised just by how quick the Standard Range Plus is. But you definitely notice it when you step into another car, some other, you know, regular crossover or something like that, and then you come back to the Tesla and you can definitely tell that it is still a very quick car, which is pretty obvious. So fun to drive, yes, it's still a lot of fun to drive. It's the most fun car I've owned to drive, but at the same time, I haven't really owned a lot of performance cars. I mean, yes, the Mustang with the Coyote V8 and a manual transmission was a lot of fun to drive as well, even though it had a solid rear axle, which was kind of scary in the corners. If you go on an on-ramp or something like that, and there are these segments in the road or bumps in the road, and you're taking a corner, the whole rear end would just be all wild and just jump all over the place. I mean, it was nuts. But it was still a fun car to drive, very fun car to drive. 420 horsepower, something like that in that one. But I still feel like this one is actually quicker than the Mustang was. If you're looking for a fun car to drive and you're worried that the Tesla might not be it, I mean, the only thing I'm missing is some sort of shifting, but that's what you get when you have an electric car. You only have one gear, I guess, unless you have, I think Porsche Taycan has like 2 gears, one launch gear and one just regular driving gear. And of course you have the Tesla supercharger network as well, which makes it very convenient to just back up and charge whenever you're running out of juice. I haven't had any issues talking about reliability and stuff like that. I've never had any issues with the car except for one time when I was driving the car and the screen went black for some reason. I'm not sure why. And also another time, these happened on one time each. So the screen went black once, and then the map froze once as well, and it wouldn't update as I was driving. It was just stuck on one position. That stuck with the car for about 2 hours, and then it all of a sudden just boop, and then the real-time map came back to the car. So those are 2 minor issues that I had with the software. But usually when you have issues like that, all you got to do is just do a reboot of the software, and it usually fixes all of those small issues that you might have. It's just like a phone. Sometimes the phone can start bugging you and it freezes and you have all these weird glitches and stuff. All you got to do, usually in most cases, is just to restart the phone. So that's pretty much a phone on wheels. I mean, that's what a Tesla is. So moving forward, I'm not sure, should I sell it or should I keep it, or what do we want to do with this? Because it looks exactly like I want it to look. It looks fantastic. Maybe add something to the front end. I'm not sure if I want a spoiler in the front end, or I've talked about the rear diffuser here as well. They have a very subtle one diffuser that you can just switch out. You just basically pull this out and push the other one in. But those are tiny changes. I'm happy with the car, but for content for the channel, I'm thinking maybe switch it up a little bit and get something else. I have to think about that, but let me know what you think. If you have any suggestions on what you would like me to do with the Tesla, keep it or sell it or get something else, let me know in the comments below.